This is the one. Assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DOD 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of requested support. Furthermore, Subpart D, provision or use of DOD unmanned systems, drones, and UAVs and stuff like that, in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense, pursuant to the October 31st, 2023 SecDef memo. What this means is that the SecDef can authorize military force on our home soil up to and including lethal force against citizens. I didn't want to believe it, so I looked it up, and y'all can too. And there it is. Just letting y'all know.
So here it is. Now, Zero Hedge picked it up from Armageddon Pros, which is a Substack which they often run. It says U.S. military now authorized to kill Americans on U.S. soil. Just ahead, intriguingly, of November elections, and that was my second thought. The military has granted itself permission to unleash lethal force on the civilian population. Again, I thought this has got to be an exaggeration, so I went and looked, and actually go to the next one because this explains what it is. Now, it's not a law. It's a DOD directive. So this is, the administrative state where they take over. They don't pass laws. They are laws unto themselves. Go to the next one if you can, because this is what they're talking about. And I went and I read this secondly, and it talks about a reissued DOD directive that was reissued just on September 27th, 2024. It governs the Department of Defense intelligence activities and now includes provisions authorizing lethal force in certain circumstances. And it supplants the 2016 version, which did not mention that. So I read all of this, too, which is someone else's analysis. I said, okay, this sounds even more troubling. I want to go look at the document itself. And so go to the next one. I actually went and looked at the DOD directive. It's DOD Directive 5240.01. Now go to the next one. I'm just going to get to this really quick so I can, just so people, this is on their own website. Now this is Section 3 of that directive. Assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. Now go to the next one. Now this is levels of authority. This is Section 3.3. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger, in response to such a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Now here are the authorities. I'm sorry to get so far into the woods here, but go to the next one. Responding with assets with potential for lethality, and I underline this, I highlighted it, or any situation where it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death.
Behold, Jimmy John's new smoked cheddar bourbon club.
Tasteful.
With premium roasted meats.
Exquisite.
And smooth.
Yummy.
Behind me is the Kings Mountain Mine, which used to be one of the largest lithium mines in the world for much of the 20th century. But it was abandoned and stopped operating in 1988. It's since filled with rainwater, looks like a giant pond, and is surrounded by a hiking-biking trail for the local community. But this facility, which is owned by Albemarle, one of the biggest lithium companies in the world, could reopen to start supplying the new electric vehicle industry and the battery manufacturing that's being built just down the road in this southeastern U.S. battery belt. There's still a lot of work to be done on permitting and reopening that, but it closed in an era when we were offshoring heavy industry from the U.S., and now we're onshoring, we're building factories again, and it could be the right place and the right time to see modern day mining of lithium back in the United States.
Gaston County homeowners are trying to prevent a proposed lithium mine from digging any further. Back in 2019, we first told you about Piedmont Lithium's plans to mine one of the world's most abundant lithium deposits a few miles east of Cherryville. The chemical element is critical to power our cell phones and electric vehicles, but as WCNC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner shows us, neighbors fear the mine will cause irreparable damage to their environment.
Piedmont Lithium insists they'll be good neighbors as they extract the lithium from rocks like this, but homeowners here believe the company will only cause harm to this land. The biggest reason why Will Baldwin loves visiting his grandparents' Gaston County home is all the things hiding in plain sight.
All these little places and home sites have interesting and so much historical value.
Piedmont Lithium also loves what's hiding in this part of the county. Except what they find valuable can't be seen to the naked eye. This area is home to one of the world's most abundant lithium deposits, and as more people buy electric cars, that chemical element will be critical for batteries. While these electric cars are seen as beneficial to the environment, Baldwin fears Piedmont Lithium's plans for an open pit mine will damage the environment around his grandparents' neighborhood. He's worried any dust from the mine will get into the nearby Beaver Dam and Little Beaver Dam creeks, which flow directly to the South Fork Catawba River.
Mining is extractive, and they're basically taking value out of Gaston County. It just doesn't seem like they're going to be good neighbors like other companies could be.
In a lengthy statement, Piedmont Lithium says they intend to be good neighbors, and they've been working with several agencies and organizations, including the Catawba Riverkeeper, to ensure their, quote, proposed operations will not have a detrimental effect on waterways in our area. But Baldwin, his grandparents, and other homeowners believe the company's efforts won't be enough, as the company still needs to submit applications and rezoning requests for the mine. Baldwin started a Facebook page and a petition to try to stop the company. Baldwin plans to discuss his concerns with county commissioners at their meeting tonight. In Gaston County, Brandon Goldner, WCNC Charlotte.
Shake up in Citrus Heights. The city is without a mayor starting this weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hunter Sowards.
And I'm Marley Ginter. In a surprise move, the mayor said he is resigning effective Saturday and said he is moving immediately to Kentucky, calling California's politics evil.
In tonight's Politics at Large, Steve is live in Citrus Heights with Steve. Why the mayor says he couldn't wait to leave until the end of his term.
Yeah, live in this neighborhood in Citrus Heights, the mayor moving right now. In fact, there is his moving truck. He is busy loading up his home as we speak, and he is planning on leaving the state. Now, this is a surprise and new twist. He had already announced that he would be leaving California because he says California's politics are evil. The mayor and his moving van. Is this a statement move? Are you making a statement?
Absolutely, yeah.
Citrus Heights Mayor Brett Daniels dropped the sudden exit to his city this week, moving up his move-out date to right now. He had previously announced he'd wait until the end of his term to leave the state.
Financially, it was going to be kind of crushing and whatnot, and so out of a bigger concern for my wife and daughter, we made the decision to go ahead and finish up now.
The mayor says he's leaving California because of what he calls the evil state legislature.
I feel that evilness has permeated the state legislature.
There's a lot of words you can use. You could use bad, I don't like it, not for me, but evil is like a sinister
it is.
side to it.
It is, and I feel that is the case.
Daniel says he opposes California state laws like the one banning school transgender notifications to parents. He says he and his family searched nationwide for a new home and settled on one in Corbin, Kentucky, where his 7-year-old daughter is now enrolled to go to school.
It's a nationally recognized school.
I'm concerned that there are some critical issues that we'll have to push back till after the election.
Citrus Heights Councilmember Tim Schaefer is now scrambling to fill roles following the mayor's sudden departure. And business member Ray Riley is also upset by the abrupt exit.
Walking away from a job, walking away from an elected office because you dislike the people on the other side.
It's sad, but we become disgusted with California politics.
The Citrus Heights mayor moving on, calling out California politicians in favor of Kentucky's.
And I hope they hear about it enough.
Definitely an unusual situation.
Yeah, right. They're trying to push this off as an accident. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. I mean, just quick, this is Angela Simmons, and she look a mess. But, the evil gets to these people, and this, the energy of the evil side they on start to destroy their flesh. Like Rihanna, I saw a recent photo of Rihanna today. Boy, have that age taking its toll. But anyway, what you see in Angela Simmons' hand is a purse, supposedly, but it's in the hand shape of a concealed weapon. And this is predictive programming. This is supposed to be a BET Carpet Award. I think that's what they said. Let me see. Update music, Angela Simmons, shocking. You see, let me see. This is fair use, but they're letting you know, like, especially you women. You women, look, take a good look. I know y'all at the shooting range. That shit ain't gonna work. You know, they telling you while you at your finest time of life, we about to go down to the showdown. Civil War, Jacob Trouble is on. She ain't just picked this purse, trust me. They put this in her hand.
Angela Simmons deeply regrets carrying gun-shaped purse at the BET Awards. Cass Atelier issues apology statement. Angela Simmons, daughter of Run DMC founder Joseph Simmons and niece of music executive Russell Simmons, faced backlash online after accessorizing with a gun-shaped clutch at the BET Awards on Sunday. The
And look how she grabbing it. They told her how to grab it. Look, she grabbing it like a professional. You know? Look how the toes are pointed. You know, left, right hand down, left hand up. You know what pose that is? The Baphomet.
Carpet in a strapless beaded gown by Cass Atelier, completing her look with a bedazzled purse by the brand, which resembled a pistol. A gun purse doesn't ever seem appropriate, especially at the BET Awards, a show dedicated to the black community.
Yeah, the black. This is the black community. Well, I will say this here. They telling you women, get ready. You better get ready to fight. Look at this. You think she ready to fight? She already gave up. You know, like a lot of you women, the Lord say, I'm gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. A man shall be a hiding place from the wind of destruction. But they let you black women, especially you black women, you better get ready to fight.
Predominantly affected by gun violence in devastating numbers, Asia Miliaware wrote in New York Magazine's The Cut. The publication shared its story about Simmons' choice of handbag in an Instagram feed post, and some users responded in agreement. Tone deaf and embarrassing, one person commented. Why did she hold it up like an actual gun too? It's not okay, wrote another. On Tuesday, Simmons took to the social media app to acknowledge the controversy. I deeply regret that this item, which symbolizes a gun, was inappropriate and insensitive, especially given my personal and community experiences with gun violence, she explained in an Instagram story. Simmons' ex-fiancé Sutton Tennyson, with whom she shares a son, was killed in a shooting in 2018.
Fair use. This is not an accident, you know. So get ready. Should have won.
Hispanic Heritage Month with the story of an artist who has used his sketchbook and pencils to find success in fame. Devon Rodriguez made his name by drawing passengers on the New York City subway and sharing their reactions on social media. He has more than 33 million followers on TikTok. As Zelia Luciano shows us, his talent has taken him a long way from a troubled upbringing in New York City's South Bronx.
Excuse me, I drew you.
I always dreamed about being like this big artist, and I used to like envision myself like on Billboard.
Artist Devon Rodriguez got his start sketching on the subway. Now he can't even walk down the street without getting recognized for his work.
I drew you.
All because he decided to upload his sketches and his subjects' reactions to TikTok.
So I really hope that me drawing strangers on the subway made you smile. So I filmed myself.
Miss, I drew you.
And I was like, we'll see where that goes. And that day, I just look at my phone and it's like 100,000 views, then like 200,000 views. Within minutes, 300,000 views. By the end of the day, I had 5 million views. And I went from 1,000 followers to 100,000 followers.
In a day?
Yeah, in a day. This
You
kind
broke
of
the algorithm.
Yeah, I was like, with this kind of attention, something's gonna happen. Within a month, I was at 1 million followers. I already had sponsorships coming in.
With tens of millions of social media followers, his success is all the more improbable given the challenges he faced as a child.
My dad left me when I was 3, and my mom was like very like violent and abusive, and I just grew up in like poverty and violence and gangs.
Growing up in the South Bronx, there were some outlets for his artistic aspirations, even if not entirely legal.
You know, I always wanted to hang around the creatives, and they were doing graffiti, so I would just tag up walls, and I got arrested once when I was 14, so I was like, maybe I should not do this.
It was Rodriguez's grandmother who got him out of trouble. That day by getting him out of jail, and forever by getting him out of his abusive home.
What do you remember about what your grandmother would tell you as a kid growing up?
She would always tell me to be so like, be giving to others, even when nobody's watching.
Yo voy a hacer alguien.
And in return, he had a message for his abuela.
Crea en mí que yo voy a hacer alguien bien importante en esta vida. And he would tell you, believe in me, I am going to be somebody.
Then an early mentor recognized his true potential.
I definitely remember that he was hungry to learn.
Jeremy Harper was Rodriguez's first high school art teacher.
I remember him saying to me, like, how do I get good? My first thing I said to him was, get a sketchbook, go and just walk around the city, buses, parks, subways.
And that advice changed everything. His reels blew up during the pandemic when so many missed the ordinary things, like the smile of a stranger on the subway.
Why do you think you have become such a viral, explosive sensation?
I think people love like the wholesome quality of somebody feeling like they were so seen. So when you're watching the video of somebody receiving their portrait, you almost feel what they feel.
I lived in London for a long time.
There's this kindness that is part of everything that you showcase. Where does that come from?
I always have like this innate belief that, so if you put out positivity, you're gonna get positivities. I'm always trying to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Keep smiling.
To the sketches, he has now added interviews for the full picture, from perfect strangers to the biggest celebrities.
But yeah, thank you for this. I'm done with your drawing. So
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see it. Wow, that's really good. Who's made you the most excited, though?
Probably President Biden.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I drew you. I'll text you.
He crossed over from online fame to real-life fame. A line of fans at a recent gallery opening stretched several blocks. Yet even when the dreams of that kid who wished to live off a brush all came true, he's still just Devon from the block.
I'm from the Bronx. Like, we're on welfare, food stamps, and like, you know, like, how did this happen? I'm very like self-aware on how crazy this is, and it's just a dream come true. It's crazy.
I have been following him for so long. I've been wanting to tell the story for so long, and I also really wanted to meet his teacher because Devon gives his teacher, Jeremy, so much credit for his success, and I loved what his teacher told me. Jeremy said, as a teacher, you have to take the passion, the fire that's in a student, nurture it, and then send them off to the world. And he said, look, if I'm an old man and I never get another Devon come through my door, through my classroom, at least I got the one.
Wow.
Isn't that
Number one, he's so cute. Number one.
He's so
Number two, I'm thinking, God, how do we get him to moves that were just made by the Pentagon that slid under the radar for the most part, and most people don't realize what they've done here. The Pentagon issuing
humans injected with a tiny chip holding the key to all of their private information.
But as you're about to see in our CBS 46 investigation, it's not fiction. In fact, it's being marketed in Georgia as life-saving technology. So why do some experts say it's potentially deadly? CBS 46's Kim Fennick investigates.
It's used in key cards, prepaid tolls, even checked luggage. It's called RFID technology, or radio frequency identification. Small chips that store information. So here's the chip. And now that same technology is literally available in the flesh, with chips injected right into people's arms.
It says it burns a little bit. That's about it.
Atlanta firefighter John Santola was injected with the chip about the size of a grain of rice. When scanned, the number on the chip is linked to a database with Santola's medical history.
I had to go help me in case of emergency.
Santola was chipped when Florida-based Verichip Corporation set up a booth at an Atlanta firefighter conference. They market the chip primarily for safety reasons, storing medical information for first responders, Alzheimer's patients, even children.
And it is the only product that has been approved by the FDA for this specific purpose.
The FDA approved the use of chips in humans in 2004, but since then it's caused quite a bit of controversy with some consumer groups, concerned about privacy, even health concerns.
These are very powerful tools, especially if they fall in the hands of somebody with political ambitions.
One of the loudest voices of opposition is right here in the Boston area, a Harvard doctor and author of Spy Chips.
These technologies will not make us safer. I think they'll make us sitting ducks for Big Brother.
Dr. Catherine Albrecht also compiled 16 years of studies she says prove the chip can cause cancerous tumors.
It's clear as day that these tumors were not only malignant, but they metastasized, they spread to the lungs, the liver, the thymus, the brain.
These pictures show the tumors growing around the actual chip in the mice and rats.
Certainly the company, I mean, they've done, I think, a tremendous job of keeping that information under wraps for the last several years.
We sat down with the chief medical officer of Verichip and asked about the link to cancer in mice.
Yeah, I am not aware. I mean, I would have to take a look at what's out there right now. I'm not aware of any issues at this point.
But weeks later, Verichip sent 26 pages of literature claiming the incidence of microchip-associated sarcoma in rodents is very low, and claims the mice in at least one of those studies were genetically engineered to be tumor-prone. No doubt in your mind that this is safe for us medically.
Yes, I mean, from everything that I've seen, it's very superficial. It's been in the animals for 20 plus years.
John Santola won't need to worry about the cancer debate. His chip fell out after 2 days. Would you get it again?
I would not get it again.
To me, this is the future of medicine.
But how far in the future? Well, Verichip advertises the technology in use at 8 Atlanta area medical facilities, including Crawford Long Hospital, Emory University, and DeKalb Medical Center. But our investigation found that none of these centers are actually using microchip technology. For full copies of studies done on microchips and humans, log on to CBS46.com.
Hey, what's up, family? It's your homeboy Nino. Y'all have to check this video out with me.
You came in our home, hacking our television, and looking at us in our most, private moments. Why ever get a hold of you? 6 months ago, our TV just started changing randomly on its own. We didn't know what was going on, so we called Xfinity. We got a new box. We got a new remote. And after that, it started happening again. So we got another box and another remote from Xfinity. And that time, the technician took all the old boxes and all the old remotes that we've had, you know, whenever. So they did that. We thought, oh, it's fresh and new. It's all good. Then like 3 days later, after that technician leaves, it starts again. And it really started with them just changing the station a whole bunch of times. And we didn't know what was going on with that. I thought maybe it was a defective remote or box as well. This is why we called and, you know, got, you know, Xfinity to come and bring us new equipment. Twice. And it was still happening. So then I started, you know, getting really confused because it was like, okay, I keep turning this stuff in and it keeps on happening. So what's next? So I started talking to Xfinity, seeing what they could do to help. They kept saying it was nothing major, whatever, you know, maybe get another box and another remote again. I was like, okay, I'll entertain that. But then the TV started saying stuff. Me and my kids were up one morning, we're in the kitchen getting ready for school, and we started laughing about something. And the TV was like, you're not funny.
And the way they would talk to us at first is they would put it into a YouTube search engine.
Yep.
And that's how we would be able to read what he was saying to us.
Yep. And then after that, I was just like, well, the TV said, you know, we're not funny or whatever. Like, that's weird. Like, how do they know we were laughing? Then I was talking about my old school days where I used to fight. They're going to pop up and say, Whitney, you can't fight. How does this person know my name? You know what I mean? How does this person know what we've been talking about? So I was already freaked out from there. My daughter started crying.
I thought it was a ghost.
She thought it was a ghost or a spirit, you know, coming through the television trying to talk to us at the time. And, you know, at first we was all freaked out by it too. But that wasn't the case, y'all. And this is only the beginning. Once again, not touching nothing, not pressing nothing. And this person is talking about they David Kong into my remote. How? Like I said yesterday, only one remote to each box. If I got the remote right here and I ain't saying nothing, I ain't typing nothing, I ain't pressing nothing, how's that thing telling me they David Kong? We are recording you because you're a scary bitch. Fly your ass to Fresno. Fly your ass to Fresno. Fly your ass to Fresno. You ain't with that. You a scary ass who on somebody's TV hacking that shit. Go to hell. Yeah. Oh, girl, you know I've stalked you down. That's why you over here talking to a TV and not coming to Fresno. Come your ass to Fresno. I don't care. Look what you're doing. You're a loser. You're on somebody's TV playing around. You're a loser. Black men ain't better than shit. They all men suck since you want to go there. And I don't care. You keep talking about how many kids I got.
Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai.
All of this food was destroyed after a raid at one Oxford Street candy shop because they were caught selling over 600 products deemed to be unsafe. Things like American cereal and fizzy drinks containing banned or excessive additives were seized, as well as chocolate that didn't have labels in English, preventing customers from checking ingredients, sell-by dates, or even allergen information. In the last 3 months, Trading Standards destroyed over 2,000 unregulated products from the same shop. And back in February, they even found carcinogenic American sweets being sold there. The seized products, which are valued at over £2,800, have since been incinerated, with the business having to cover the costs for the destruction. Westminster Council say there'll be more raids on shops in the coming weeks.
Whatever you think you know about Western North Carolina and what's going on over there, you're wrong, unless you're there. I've debated on if I even wanted to make this video because I don't really want to start a bunch of conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I do feel like word needs to get out about what is actually happening that news is not covering. So here's the facts. I have been assisting with running missions and dispatch for an operations team there for the last week. And last week, I was assisting running those missions in Ashe County. I've been in Swannanoa this week, and we've been running 70 missions a day, getting help to these people that are not being helped right now. So when I tell you this is firsthand knowledge, this is firsthand knowledge. The death toll of 200 or 200-ish is what's being reported right now. That's not accurate. My organization's sent out 10,000 body bags to local authorities this week, and they're requesting more. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that all 10,000 of those has been used, but it does mean that they're finding a need, and that they're thinking that they're going to need more. I will tell you, we've spoken to some of the funeral homes and refrigeration truck companies that have been brought in, and there's, 1,000 in this town, 800 in this town, 500 in this town, and we're finding more bodies every day. This is an ongoing process. My team has cadaver dogs that have been going out. We have med teams that are going out. It's not only deaths from the storm, but deaths since the storm. There's a huge need, particularly in our Hispanic communities. A lot of them are scared. There's Border Patrol trucks driving around, and they're scared to ask for help. We've lost 2 Hispanic children to hypothermia in our community this week because they didn't know that help was out there for them, and they don't know who to trust. So the devastation in this area is beyond what anything that I've ever seen before. It's beyond what anybody that has lived it has seen before. We're talking to survivors that rode their house a mile down the river. We're talking to people that sat there and told us about 40-foot walls of water looking like tsunamis coming through these towns that have never seen anything like this, and they've lived there their entire lives. Elderly people are sitting here telling me that they rode their house down the river